Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Nathan.
And we are your hosts sharing our crazy lives here on the ranch with you.
We're husband and wife, and we're going to chat with y'all about what's happening here at the ranch, in the world, and whatever else we're fixating on.
And our goal is to share our journey, some laughs, and maybe we'll all learn a little something along the way too.
Welcome to Happy Hour podcast, and buckle up.
Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. This is Shannon.
And Nathan.
You look like an elf.
I love hugs. No, I love smiling.
Anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that. Look, there's two hats in there.
We are still on our business planning trip, and somehow I'm suckered into recording another one of these podcasts. And we're going to try to talk about something that we won't debate about. We'll see. Anyway, what's our topic?
Giving advice to our adult kids, and in comparison to like versus clients and that kind of stuff.
And compared to what?
Like giving advice to clients. We both coach advice.
Oh, okay.
We both coach for a living.
Yep.
And so it's interesting that we give advice to professionals and executives. Mm-hmm. And then when we try and give advice to our adult children, sometimes it doesn't go out the way it should.
It doesn't land?
Yeah, at all. Not even close.
So both of our adult children, we have, our son is...
Doing awesome, by the way.
They're both incredible human beings, and they've got incredible significant others, too. But our oldest is about to turn 28.
Gosh.
And then that's Anthony, him and his wife, Rebecca, and our two grandbabies live in Dallas. And then our 20-year-old Nyla lives with her fiance, Leslie, in the state of Washington. And, they recently both got some incredible job opportunities. And when we call them or talk to them about, sometimes they'll actually call us for advice. I don't know if they actually want to hear it. But
I don't think they call us for advice. I think they call us and we give them advice.
That's not true, because I know Anthony's called you about prepping for interviews, and Nyla's called and asked advice for things too. I think they do. They've definitely called us and asked us for our opinion, at least, on certain situations and stuff. But this came up because yesterday, Nyla calls us to tell us she got promoted again at Home Depot, and so she's now a assistant store manager, which we're super excited about. And we just right away were like, oh, the hardest part about managing is managing people, the operations, and all the other stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And we start recommending books, and we're talking about...
Well, and then we're talking about, both of us were very young leaders, and she's a very young leader.
At 19, and she's 20, and I could see her eyes going...
I could care less about what you're saying.
Like, we've already hit... Let's take the advice and business coaching, all that aside. We've already hit that place in parenthood where parents don't know shit anymore. Like as if we've never lived.
What are you talking about? A 12-year-old thinks that.
I know, as if we've never lived, we've never gone through anything that they could, we could possibly understand what their life is like at all. But anyway, so so we're recommending books in order of like importance of what she should read, like starting with this book. Really you want to do this before, and she's just like.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Versus, clients pay us to give them advice.
They might not after they see our podcast.
Well, I mean...
Listen, you need to take life a little bit easy sometimes.
But anyway, so we thought it was pretty funny that our own kids, including the younger ones still at home, it was Nyla who originally told you something like when you were giving her a lecture in high school and she wasn't really paying attention, and you said, clients pay me thousands of dollars for my advice, and she's like, man, I'll pay you not to give me advice.
I'll pay you $5 not to give it.
Or something like that.
It's not one of her proudest moments. I'm going to change hats, though. The hat's a little too big for my head.
And so, anyway, we just thought that it'd be something funny to share with you guys, and the differences that we live in our professional lives versus our personal lives, where, what it kind of makes me think of when we both first got into business, self-employed business, because we've both been in business since we were 18.
So when we left corporate America into entrepreneurship.
Right, and how it's like think of the, what do they call it, the multi-level marketer, what is that called?
multi-level marketing, or they call it direct marketing now to make it sound more appealing.
They almost teach you to go after your family and friends and
Yeah,
family first,
yeah,
and that's the worst thing you could do, really, is because your friends and family respect you the least in
Mm-hmm.
your new field.
Yep.
They actually want you to either do it for free or just not do it at all. And so it's something that we learned when we first went into entrepreneurship, where a stranger who doesn't know us from Adam or Eve will pay us a lot of money to help them. And we do, by the way. And then you'll get your family member that is like, or a good friend or whatever.
That's true to the day.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
And it's not even just family. It's called the out of town expert syndrome, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
further you travel, the more knowledgeable you must be.
You know, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about this the other day. You know, I host retreats all over the world, and one of the places that I host retreats is in Florida. And a few years ago, pre-pandemic, I did this really cool. So I was doing my retreat, and at the end of my retreat, I did this really cool 2-hour workshop at this yoga studio. And at the time, we were living in California for that brief moment that we did that. And I remember, you know, this yoga studio had done this whole marketing thing, you know, like Shannon and Jamail coming from Southern California, and the workshop filled up like in minutes, right? And I guess in their mind, they're like, this person coming from all the way across the continent is coming to do this workshop, it must be important, versus trying to do one like in your local hometown, where they're like, oh, well, you know, okay. And it's not always the case. There's exceptions to everything, but I was just thinking about that the other day.
There's some truth to that. It's like supporting your local artist, right? If they're local, they must be less than a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's okay. I mean, I think the more you recognize that, and don't use it as an excuse, but use it as an awareness, and then so children are the same, right? I mean, listen, Troy Aikman, who's a famous football player, you know, Hall of Fame football player, and now one of the biggest names in sportscasting, his kids see him as dad, and his friends see him as Troy, right? And yet, if he walks into a restaurant or somewhere, people are like, oh my gosh, Troy, can I get your autograph? Right? It's kind of like what you and I deal with, right? We go to the airport, and people are like, oh my gosh, it's Nathan Jamail, can I get your autograph? Yet, we go home, and you're like, oh God, it's Nathan.
I was so proud of you, because like there was this whole serious like conversation we were having. I was like, oh my God, this is really cool. And then you went there. But yeah, no, I mean, there's so much that goes into a belief system or a perspective on people and experts and advice givers and coaches and even mental health therapists. And, you know, you want the person who's hard to book, right? You want the person who's busy. You want the person who you don't know, who's not directly connected to you.
Everyone wants what they can't have, right? All good men are married. Obviously, I'm married. But you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone wants what they can. This is why bars back in the day would be empty inside and then make the line out front so they look like they're busy, right?
Yeah.
And so, oh my gosh, there's a line. We got to go there.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, this goes back to the idea of giving kids advice. You're still mom and dad, and you can be the smartest two people in the world. And so what's funny is when I would do a speech or whatever, I'll always have someone come to me, oh my gosh, I wish you could talk to my kids. I'm like, you don't want that. My kids don't listen to me either. You could be the smartest. I mean, you could literally give away wisdom that's worth millions of dollars. Your kids don't want it because they don't want it from dad.
Yeah.
I said, what we really need to do is I need to come give your kids advice because they'll think I'm a genius, and you give my kids advice and they'll believe you because our kids won't listen to us.
It's like that Modern Family show.
Which one?
The salad.
Oh, the blue cheese wedge?
The salad. It's.
I got Claire all over me. Oh,
so
you're going to.
Modern Family is
One of
my
our favorite
favorite shows, yeah, especially mine.
Because you're Claire.
And there's an episode where Claire had been telling Phil for years, you got to try the blue cheese wedge. And Phil, you know, this is the basis of the story. It's not really how it played out. Phil would be like, nah. But then one of his friends tells him, oh, dude, you've got to try the blue cheese wedge salad. And he tried it. And he came home and told Claire, dude, the blue cheese wedge salad. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? I've been telling you that for years. But someone else tells you that and you go and try it. That's the kind of concept that we're talking about, whether it's your kids or, you know, whatever may be the case.
That was a funny episode. That's when they got in the fight.
Yeah.
And then Ed's wife, what's the dad's name? Jay. What's his wife's name?
We're thinking too hard about it. I can't get it.
Gloria.
Gloria.
And Gloria's cutting his hair.
Yeah. That's what you think of right now.
No. And she's like, they're going to fight. He goes, then she was mad. And he goes, well, I forgot to give her a phone message. That's why she was mad. I'd kill you. Insane. You're thinking because she was.
No, I was gonna say that's the part that's the only reason why you even remembered that part is because her big old breastises were stuck in his face.
That was definitely a funny part of the bit, but that wasn't what my point was.
Anyway, that is the concept.
Sex over massage.
That is the concept. Is that it's always desired to get information, advice, coaching, help from someone who's hard to get it from. Well, I guess it's not readily available.
True story. Same story. That's why she was talking about going to leadership training in Home Depot.
Nyla?
Yeah. And I'm like, you do know that's what your father literally does for a living. Is I go do leadership.
Hire you to go do that.
And she's like, yeah, I don't want to go to that one. I want to go to the one that Home Depot puts on. I'm like, oh my God, someone just shoot me. The good thing about having kids, they really humble you.
Yeah, because when we start getting a big head, we've got our clients who are doing rocking, and we're feeling good about the work and how we serve others, and it's just great. And then you've got your kids saying, "I could give a shit what you think."
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
They don't know how little you know, Dad.
But also, I think that happens when you Pastor John, our church that we used to go to in Dallas, he said, if you don't think someone's weird, it's because you don't know them well enough.
Yeah,
or you get to know someone.
If you don't know someone, if someone doesn't have a jacked up family, right? Isn't that what it was?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, he wouldn't have used that word. Yeah, he wouldn't have said that. Something about because everybody's weird. We all have weird things. We all have weird quirks, and if you're in a professional capacity, you typically don't see that stuff. Nowadays, though, with the access of social media, you get to expose different things like this. Like none of Nathan's clients would normally see this side of him, nor mine. They get to now to a certain degree.
I don't know if they should.
As a whole
this
world.
This could probably be damaging to my career.
No.
We probably should. Can we put this on different YouTube?
No.
Is there another YouTube we could put on it?
Anyway, so we just thought it was funny. There's no lesson to be learned in this podcast whatsoever. Just interesting, funny, how humanity works in that way. I swear to God, we're on such a roll.
I know, but I'm just. Do we really have lessons to learn on any of our podcasts?
Good point. Okay, that was a good point. Good point.
See, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. I won't disappoint every time.
Anyway, so we thought we'd share that with you. We'd love to hear from you guys, though, if you experience this, whether it's in your home life or maybe you're trying to build a new business and you're finding that the people you really thought would be there for you to support you in your business, are not. By the way, we're not saying that happened to us. We actually had great family and friend support.
Do we?
Yeah, we have. Absolutely.
I'm just kidding.
But there's also, of course, there were the ones that were like, get the hell away from us. You're doing something new. We don't want to be a part of it. And that's normal, and that happens. And we'd love to hear from you if you feel like that's happening to you. Share your stories with us so maybe we don't feel quite so alone. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, and I was going to say something. Now you made me forget. It's going to be very important and very instrumental.
I don't know, but I have a reminder that just popped up that you need to get the beer out of the freezer. So you probably want to do that.
Well, not yet. It's not that cold.
It's been 35 minutes.
Has it been that long?
How long? Yeah, that's what
I don't think so.
Okay, then.
Okay, listen, wait a minute. That's the point I need to make. Just give me a second. I forgot it, but it's very good.
If you stop talking, you might think.
Talk some more. Let me get to it.
I don't have anything else to say, so it's time for us to go.
Listen, we're talking about the kids. Giving advice, they don't take it. Out-of-town expert. Families are close, you don't listen to you. Can we pause it?
No.
And then come back?
Nope. Nope.
We can't just pause the show?
Nope.
It's like live stream?
Yep.
It's really not live stream. You're lying to me.
So anyway.
I love you.
He didn't remember we're out.
All right. Hey, wait a minute, real quick. I still forgot.
Yep. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Hour Podcast. If you'd like to learn more, visit us online at www.happyhourpodcast.org.
And you're welcome.